Namaste. I'm going to read Book 1, Chapter 17. When Suka is displaying his self-control amidst the women of the palace of Mithila. Om Bhagavatam Maha Koti Surya Sutta said, thus speaking to his father about his intention to go to Mithila, the high-souled Sukadeva fell prostrate at his feet and with folded palms said, O highly fortunate one, your word must be obeyed by me now. I desire to see, as you say, the kingdom of Janaka. Kindly give me permission. O father, again the doubt is coming within me how the king Janaka is governing his kingdom without sentencing anybody. And if there be no punishment within his kingdom, no one will remain in the path of virtue. It is for the sake of preserving religion that Manu and other sages have always prescribed for punishment. How then religion can be preserved without inflicting punishment? O Mahabhaga, what you have spoken to me appears to me true like the sentence, my mother is barren. So, O destroyer of foes, permit, and I will start for Mithila. Seeing the greatly wise son Suka, void of any desires, earnestly anxious to go to Mithila, gave him a cordial embrace and said, O highly intelligent one, Suka, O highly intelligent son, Suka, peace be on you. Have a long life, O child, speak truly before me and go. O son, say that after going to Mithila, you will come back again to this ashrama. Never that you will go anywhere else. O son, seeing the lotus face of yours, I am passing my days happily. If I do not see you, I will suffer extreme pain. What more than this, that you are my life and soul. I am saying, therefore, after seeing Janaka and clearing your doubts, come here again and remain at peace and study on the Vedas. Vyasa have spoken thus. Suka bowed down and circumambulated his most worshipful father and went out. He began to walk very fast, like an arrow leaving the bow, and when it has left the bow, on his journey he saw various countries, various classes of persons earning money, various gardens and forests, various trees. In some places he saw fields with green grains and grains standing on them. At others he saw ascetics practicing asceticism and initiate yajniks performing yajnas or sacrifices. In some places he saw yogis practicing yoga. The high-souled vanaprasthas in the third stage of life, vanaprasthis in the third stage of life residing in the forest, and at others he saw devotees of Shiva, Shakti, Ganesha, Surya and Vishnu and many others. Thus he went on in his journey in great wonder towards his destination. In his passage he crossed Meru in 2 years and the Mount Himalayas in 1 year, and then reached the city Mithila. Going there he found the place full of wealth, corn, grains, etc., and all prosperities, and the people were all very happy, and they observed the rule of conduct as in the Sastras. When he was about to enter into the city, the guard in front of the gate stopped him, asking, Who are you? Sir, what for are you come here? When the guard asked him thus, he replied, Nothing, and went away to a distance, and with great wonder could not help laughing in his mind, and remained motionless like a statue. At this the guard said, O Brahman, why have you remained silent? Kindly say what for you have come here. I know this well, that nobody goes anywhere without having something to do. The king has forbidden strangers whose parentage and character are known. Therefore, Brahman, everyone has to take the king's permission before he goes into the city. seems that you are very energetic. It seems that you are a very energetic Brahmin and that you know the Vedas. So, O giver of honor, speak out to me your object in view and go into the city as you like. Hearing these words of the god, Sukadeva began to say, I have come to see the city of Vidiha Janaka. But now I see that persons like me find great difficulty to enter here. So, O gatekeeper, I have got the answer from you. I was a great fool that I was so much deluded that to see the king I crossed many countries and overtopped the 2 mountains and have come here. O Mahabhaga, what blame can I put on others? It is my father that has deluded me, or my karma done in my previous birth is now making me wander about. Alas, in this world, greed for money is the sole cause to make a man knockabout. But I have not got that even. My erroneous idea has brought me so far. I now realize that a man having no desires gets constant happiness if he be not plunged in the net of delusion. Else he cannot have any such. O Mahabhaga, though I have no desire of anything, yet I am plunged in the sea of Moha. Alas, where is Meru and where is Mithila? A great distance intervenes. I have walked so great a distance on foot. Alas, this is the result of my so long a journey. Therefore, I am thoroughly convinced that the Creator has deceived me. One must have to suffer for his prarabdha karma, be it auspicious or inauspicious. One must make one's effort, being always under the control of this law of karma. Though there be no apparent desire or cause, yet this prarabdha karma always puts a man into different actions. This place is not a Tirat, holy place, nor they are the Vedas personified here, that I have taken so much pains and trouble to come here. Only there is one thing here, and that is the king Janaka, but there is no chance to see him even, for I have not been able to enter even within his kingdom. Thus saying, Sukha remained silent and began to stay as one who has taken the vow to remain silent. The god then took him to be a very wise Brahmin, and spoke in sweet words, O Brahmin, go to the palace as you like, where you have got your work. O Brahmin, I stopped you, so please excuse me for any offense incurred by me. Free persons like you have mercy alone as their greatest strength. Hearing this, Sukadeva said, what is your fault? You are dependent on another. The servant ought to obey the words of his master and serve him by all means, and there is no fault of the king. 2, in your not allowing me to enter, for the wise persons ought to ascertain by all means whether the newcomers are enemies or thieves. Hence, when I am quite a stranger, suddenly come to this place, that the fault is wholly mine. Every person knows that it is lowering oneself to go to another's house. The god then said, O great Brahman, what is happiness and what is pain? What ought to be done to by your well-wisher? Who is your enemy and who is your benefactor? Now advise me on all these points. Hearing this, Sukadeva said, everywhere men are divided as far as their internal natures are concerned into 2 classes. They are called attached or unattached. And the minds of these 2 classes are again of 2 kinds. The attached, man is stupid and cunning, and the unattached is subdivided into 3 classes, knowing, unknowing, and middling. The cunning man is divided again into 2 classes. Whether his cunningness is according to the dictates of sastras or arising from his intellect. Again, intellect is subdivided into 2, whether it is yukta, one-pointed, or ayukta, diverted. The god spoke, O learned one, I cannot understand what you say, so explain them to me what they mean. Sukadeva said, those who are attached to this world are said to be attached persons. These attached persons feel frequently various pleasures and pains. When they get wives, sons, wealth, honor, rise, etc., they get pleasures, and if they do not get any of these, they feel at every moment intense pain. Now, the attached person sought to take such means as will secure them the pleasures of this world. So, whosoever acts against those means are denominated as breakers of their happiness, and so they are enemies, and whoever aids in their acquiring pleasures are denominated as their friends. Of these, the attached, but at the same time cunning man does not get confounded and bewildered by them, whereas stupid attached men gets always bewildered everywhere. The man that is dispassionate and engaged in determining the self dwells in a solitary place, meditates on self, finds pleasure in studying the Vedanta, Sastras, and feels pain in all the topics on worldly affairs. The wise man that wants his real welfare and is adverse to the worldly enjoyments finds that he has many enemies. Lust, anger, palaces, etc. are his so many enemies. Contentment is his only friend in the three lokas, and no one is his real self. Hearing these words of Sukadeva, the watchman considered Sukadeva a very wise man, and soon led him to a very beautiful compartment. Sukadeva then began to see that the town was full of three sorts of men, good, middling, and bad, and the shops were filled with various articles of merchandise. The many things were being incessantly purchased and sold there within that town, filled with many men, money, and all sorts, wealth and prosperities. Almost everywhere was seen instances of attachment, hatred, lust, anger, greed, vanity, and delusion. At some parts they were seen persons quarreling with each other. Seeing thus the three sorts of persons, the highly energetic Sukha, blazing like a second sun, went to the royal palace where the gateman stopped him. He stood there like a log of wood and began to meditate on moksha, liberation. He began to think the light and darkness are same. The great ascetic Sukha became merged in dhyana, meditation, and remained at one place motionless. In an instant, a royal minister came out and, saluting him with folded hands, took him to a second compartment. Here the minister showed him beautiful divine gardens adorned nicely with rows of divine trees bearing fruits, and gave him a good reception, and took him to a very beautiful palace. The minister next ordered the public women in royal service, expert in music and playing with instruments, and skilled in Karma Sastra, the science of amorous dealings, to attend on Sukadeva, and went out of the palace. Sukha, the son of Vyasa, remained there. Those prostitutes then prepared various dishes suited to the time and place, and sought the satisfaction of Sukha, and then worshipped him duly with greatest devotion. Those ladies then, residing within the four walls, became enamorous to see the beautiful Sukadeva, and showed him the gardens that existed in the inner compound. Sukha was young and beautiful. Over this he was extremely lovely, of nice limbs. His speech was soft and gentle, so he looked like a second Cupid, the god of love. Of the ladies struck with Cupid's arrows, lost their consciousness. Then, recovering, they considered Sukadeva to be the great controller of passions, and began to serve him with great care. The pure-minded Sukha, born of Arani, looked on them like his mother. Sukha, finding pleasure in self and the controller of anger, was not pleased or displeased with anything. So thought, saw that the ladies were disturbed with amorous feelings. He remained quite undisturbed, calm and quiet. The ladies then prepared a very nice bed whereon Sukadeva would sleep. It was spread over with nice clean bedsheet. Many nice pillows were placed. He then washed his feet, and with vigilance put on his finger the ring prepared of kusha grass, and completing his evening sandhya, became merged in dhyana, meditating on Supreme Brahma for 3 hours, one prahara. Slept for 6 hours, and getting up, again became merged in Brahma Dhyana for the last 3 hours of the night. Then, at the Brahma muhurta, 1 hour preceding the sunrise, he took his bath and, completing his morning duties, became immersed in samadhi, inner enlightenment, and sat at ease. Thus ends the 17th chapter of the first skanda on Suka's displaying his self-control amidst the women of the palace of Mithila in the Maha Purana, Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Padra Kali Kapali Durga Kashmashi Swaswa.